Hey guys, this is Tom Hanks, and today I want to drive all the cars that I banned from the budget sports car competition, even though they met all the rules. And so I'm doing this as a sort of apology, um, because technically these cars didn't break any of the rules, but I just felt like they weren't in the spirit of the actual challenge. So it is my mistake. I should have been more clear to prevent the horsepower wars, so to say, from happening in the first place. And I will try to do my best in future challenges to not let that happen again. And so I realized that the creators put a lot of time and effort into these cars, and so I want to show them anyway. But their performances will not affect the actual competition. So first up, we have the A Harmless Fly IMP by forum user Harmless, or Discord user, I think. Anyway, this thing has a 2-liter straight-six turbo with 346 horsepower, and it weighs 1102 kilograms. I believe it is front-engined all-wheel drive. So I believe that yesterday, or in the actual competition, the winning time was a 128 flat, so 128.0. So let's see if these much more powerful cars are any faster down here, because here it doesn't really matter how much power you've got. But this little thing feels very grippy and agile. I mean, the short wheelbase definitely helps with getting around these tight corners. And once you exit the corner, it just hooks up thanks to the all-wheel drive. So I expect that this is definitely gonna set a very quick time here. $124.6. So already the first car beat the other cars by nearly 3.5 seconds. That's amazing. Next up out of the disqualified cars would be the Falcon SX 94T, 95T, sorry. This thing has a 2-liter turbocharged inline-4 with 487 horsepower, and it weighs 1,343 kilograms. It's all-wheel drive too, obviously. I mean, you can't look like a Cosworth and then not be all-wheel drive, right? Traction control too. Immediately this feels heavier and a little bit clumsier than the little harmless fly. It's composed, it's just it understeers a little and not much, but it just doesn't have the cornering speeds of the previous car. It's got the straight line performance though. 126.7. Would have still beat every one of the actual competitors. For now, it's second place here, though. Next up, oh, this was sent in by Logoris, by the way, if I didn't mention that. Next up, the Forea Mizora MRX. This was sent in by Vogue. It has a 2-liter turbocharged engine 4 with 250 horsepower. It weighs 1,247 kilograms, and it looks like a tuner car. So what I mean by that is it's got a titanium exhaust tip, it's got gold rims, it's got a funky rear wing. You know, it looks like it came from a tuner shop, sort of like an aftermarket tuning company version of a stock car, if you will. I believe this one's rear-wheel drive, though. Definitely rear-wheel drive. It just doesn't feel like it has the same level of grip and cornering speeds as the previous two cars, and especially the Harmless Fly. And obviously, on corner exit, it can't match the traction of the all-wheel drive cars. $130.5. So this would have actually placed sort of mid-table among the regular competitors. Next up, the Hussar Moonline Mark II. This was sent in by MKR. It comes with a 2-liter turbocharged straight 6 with 400 horsepower and it weighs 1,058 kilograms. Styling-wise, you can really see that a lot of effort went into this. There's a full-fledged interior as well. Definitely a good-looking car, this one. Just didn't really strike me as fitting the challenge too well. And I think that the rear wheel arches, like there's a bit too much of a gap around the wheels, but other than that, I think it looks good. I think it's all-wheel drive too. Yeah, definitely all-wheel drive. I gotta get used to the performance on tap, because this is pretty insane. It's got a well set up turbo engine as well. So even if you're at like mid-rev range coming out of a corner and floor it, the turbo is still there. 123.0. Damn, that is really fast. And I expect that this will be even further ahead of things in at like Hirochi and at the Neon course as well. Although I think the Falcon will also do very well at the Neon course because it's even more powerful. But this thing is absolutely insane. It is so quick. Next up, the Lada Acula RS Limited. This comes with a, where is it? There is it. This was sent in by Random 41. It comes with a 2.5 liter, sorry, naturally aspirated straight six, making 296 horsepower, and it weighs 1,335 kilos. The reason I disqualified this one is because the engine is like basically a race engine. It's got 93 cam profile, and when you check out automation and the cam profile slider, you know, up there and close to 100, it says, you know, that's the area where, you know, race engines would be. Okay, no ABS in this one. And you just sense that this is one of the heavier cars, and it's got a pretty long wheelbase as well. Well, the rear right tire is flat, so let's do this again. You're kind of stuck between gears on these little straights. I would have preferred if first gear was longer. .130.8. This felt noticeably slower, especially coming right after the Hussar Moonline. Like these two are in like two different leagues, performance-wise. Like this thing was 7 seconds faster. Next up, the Mara Svesta SX95 AMM Turbo. This was sent in by Andy D. It has a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbo, and it makes 300 horsepower and weighs 1063 kilograms, so 1063. The engine in this is extremely laggy. There's like nobody home below 4000 RPM, and it only revs to, as you can see, like 7600-ish. Is this all-wheel drive? Kind of feels like front-wheel drive actually. Feels pretty nippy through these corners though. No ABS. Very good. 126.2. Next up out of all the disqualified cars was the Valdez Widowmaker. This one, that one was sent in by Teacup. It has a 2-liter inline-4 turbo engine making 333 horsepower, and it weighs 1,000 kilograms. No, sorry, wrong line. 2-liter Boxer 6 turbo making 325 horsepower, 940 kilograms. This is rear-engined and I believe rear-wheel drive as well. I mean, look at it. It just looks like an old-school racer, doesn't it? See, I don't feel like I can entirely trust this car because sometimes it turns in quite nicely, like right here. But sometimes, like in the first few corners, you saw that it would understeer quite a bit on turn in. You can of course help it with the handbrake. And when it hooks up, this thing is really quick. But yeah, didn't quite match the cornering speeds of some of the other cars. 129.3. Surprisingly, this wouldn't have even won against the regular competitors. I would have thought this would do better. And lastly, the Vulcan Streamliner Concept 1. Now, this one was sent in by Teacup. The last one was sent in by Costco, sorry. The Valdez Widowmaker was sent in by Costco. The Vulcan Streamliner was sent in by Teacup. This is the one with the 2-liter turbo inline-4 with 333 horsepower and 1,000 kilos. Yeah, choosing an extremely low drag body. This is also rear-engined. And extremely fast. This one has like good initial turn in, but then it starts to understeer. $127.1. Okay, so out of all the disqualified cars, the Hussar Moonline was the fastest and felt by far the fastest. Like I feel like the Hussar Moonline is going to win every track among these disqualified cars, but we'll see. So yeah, again, this doesn't change the overall results in the competition, but I felt like showing off these cars anyway, and I will race them on the other tracks too. For now, thank you for watching, and again, I apologize for not being clear enough with the rules, but I hope you at least enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.